Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, as you can see, we've had a nice little pump up above our resistance zone. We managed to clear it. And then yeah, had a pump up, but were swiftly rejected back down. But nonetheless, this is generally constructive price action. If we can just hold above this area, hopefully make some more progress back to the upside, then yeah, it's generally not looking too bad at all. So yeah, that is that is all good there. If we go and have a look at the Ethereum Satoshi pairing, you can see this hit our level of resistance here, eased off there, but generally speaking looking good. We can see the forward check, the back check, and then the pay check that we're looking for, and then we do want this to continue up towards this resistance zone and then see if we can make any substantial progress through here. If we make it through this area, then yeah, we could very much be looking for new all-time highs, or at least getting above these recent highs that we've got going on there. The Ethereum US dollar pairing is also flirting with that $3,000 psychological level, but you can see broke above this area of resistance, kind of pulled back into it, and the trend line here, and then broke back up to our next level of resistance, which is just obviously these recent highs here. But yeah, get above here, close price action above here, above this level, then yeah, we really could be looking at a nice acceleration to the upside that could very easily take us above 3,400, 3,500, anywhere into this zone realistically. We could have a rejection here in this area and come back down and trade below these lows here. That is obviously a possibility, or we could break onwards and upwards. But yeah, I think in the immediate target, if we do see more confirmation to the upside, would be somewhere into this zone. So yeah, about 3,400 to 3,000 to about $4,000 level. And yeah, obviously see how we get on. Do we just print a lower high on the medium term relative to these highs and then come back down, or do we go full bullish and go for new all-time highs? That would obviously be what we're all hoping for over here. The 10-year yield though is kind of going for it. We actually drew on this crazy bull flag projection yesterday. If this did play out as a bull flag, and like we're not far off, we're halfway there now already. So yeah, we did have a pump up in the 10-year. I mean, it's difficult to really read what drives this, because it could obviously be higher interest rates, it could be higher inflation, it could be higher levels of risk on, which is obviously the selling of this, which is the pushing up of the yield. It is difficult to see in context of what is going on with the dollar though. The dollar is still just kind of trading with what is potentially well, what we're hoping for is going to be a top in formation here, and we do come back down because yeah, if this does break and continue to the upside, then it's certainly going to put the dampeners on risk assets. So yeah, speaking of risk assets, stock markets, as you can see, still just hovering under this resistance area that we're looking at. Did actually wick right up into it yesterday, but still just below it. I mean, it would be an extremely bullish scenario for us to break onwards and upwards through it, and we are consolidating very close to the underside, which is obviously very bullish. So we have actually got a decent chance, as aggressive of a move as it is from these recent lows, just to coast straight up basically. It is certainly possible from here. So obviously, notwithstanding any geopolitical craziness or anything like that, I think the path of least resistance is to the upside. It's just a case of, do we consolidate a bit, do we back test this level before we then break onwards and upwards. Oil, just in and around the area, it had the spike up, it had the aggressive pullback, and it's now basically at the midway point, which is quite reasonable. So yeah, will we come back down and test some lower levels, or will we break up and test some higher levels? We shall have to see. Again, my biased view is we'll potentially come down just as things maybe ease off in the Ukraine, but we shall have to see. Yeah, wheat just hovering around there as well. There's obviously clearly a bit of indecision in these commodities as to the next move. The ruble also having a bit of its bounce, not quite reach the midway point. Will this roll over and take another low, or will this try and recover? Obviously, it's going to depend on the geopolitical situation. But yeah, generally speaking for crypto there, I think I've said generally speaking a few times today. We'll just look at gold as well. Gold, again, looking like it wants to decide on its next move. Obviously, I have a slight downward bias just based on the fact I have an increased risk on going forwards bias, which is not necessarily going to be great for gold. Obviously, inflation will be good for gold, but it won't be. Inflation is historically good for gold, but it's not good for bond yields, which then obviously bond yields rising isn't good for gold. So there's obviously opposing forces there. But yeah, overall though, Bitcoin isn't looking too bad here. It is looking like it wants to at least come and try and test up towards these mid $40,000 levels, and if it does get a break above and confirmation above pretty much 47,000, we could very, very likely it would look perfectly reasonable for us to see new all-time highs. You can kind of see the highs, the lows, the higher highs, slightly higher lows, and put in a slightly higher high. Maybe we put in a slightly higher high, and then all of a sudden we see some severe acceleration to the upside as we break out of this pattern. If it is an accumulation pattern at the highs, we could see that, or maybe we just come and tap the top, maybe break above, swing fairly above on like maybe a weekly basis, and then come back down and then come and test the lows again. We shall see. But either way, you can see we pretty much got a sideways range here. When you hit the top, you go for the bottom. When you hit the bottom, you then go for the top. When you hit the top, you then go for the bottom. So realistically, we are looking at trying to get back up into the $60,000 levels. Yeah, if we are going to be starting a macro downtrend, then yeah, anywhere I think in this $50,000 level would be a reasonable place for that the next high to occur before then coming back down and taking out this low. But yeah, we shall see. Like I've been saying, I think there is a more of a sustained bid now for this asset, just on the basis of what is going on in Finance 1.0, and again, the weaponization of obviously that. There will just be a trickle, and if you think about the richest people in the world have the most to lose, monetary speaking. So obviously their money can start flowing, trickling into things like this. And hopefully give us a nice floor price. So yeah, there we go, guys. Let's finally actually look at those stochastics. Zoom out this a little bit. Yeah, so 4 hour turning back up here. So we have got some upward momentum from the 4 hour. I'm sure 10 hour is probably turn back up now. No, looking to try and turn back up. So 10 hour did have a bullish reset, as we can see, and now trying to turn back up. 12 hour turning down from a high level. Daily still got a bit of room to run, but looking a little bit toppy. And then the higher time frames are going to be looking really good. 2 hour moving in the bullish half, and obviously looking to take out this level that we got to before. So that is looking particularly good. 3 day also looking particularly good, looking to maintain the bullish half, 50% above, and then yeah, looking to move onwards and upwards. So that is looking good. 5 days looking brilliant here. 5 days looking extremely good. And weekly is looking good as well, turning up from a low level as well. But it will ultimately feed through to the bi-weekly if we do make that progress into the mid 40,000s, and then yeah, we will literally have what looks like, when we look at that larger time frame, basically sideways, we'll look at basically it will look very much like we can at least come and test the top. Do we just get new all-time highs? Do we fall short into maybe the high 50,000s? We shall see. But nonetheless, it is looking like and lining up for a pretty decent move. So yeah, there is your daily dose of hopium, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a great week. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.